you up, everyone. Hopefully there's no smoke detectors in here. I did have a look before, but I didn't see any. I might just pop this out there. Thank you. Yeah, Jiggy Walla, everyone, which means hello. I just, firstly like to start by introducing myself. My name is Costello. I'm stepping in for Uncle Marcus, who couldn't be here, he might turn up. Me and Marcus work a lot together. We're both directors for the Jagun Alliance. Jagun means country in Bundjalung. And we work around this landscape, I guess promoting the importance of country and trying to see more people in country, caring for country. And so I'm a Bundjalung man. I was born in Byron Bay. I grew up around Clunes, Lismore, and I just live at Rosebank now, so this country's really close to me. So I guess, maybe just to explain a little bit about the smoke, we better keep an eye on it. I normally do them outside, but given everyone's in here, it's hard to move everybody in and out. And so I'm not doing a welcome to country, I'm doing an acknowledgement of country, which anybody can do. And I work a lot around fire and country and stuff, so I like to use the smoke to be able to cleanse and sort of talk about the importance of acknowledgement. And so for thousands of years all through this country and all over the world, like there's always been, since first came into a landscape, people that belong there, the custodians of that place. And, whenever you're going into someone's home, it's really nice, to just not barge your way in, so like knock on the door, maybe ring first, whatever it is that the protocol is before you walk into someone's country. And so in a lot of these landscapes, one of the protocols is to, when you're moving through country, when you're coming from somewhere else and you're moving into someone else's country, is when you feel like it's a good time to pull up, that maybe you're at their door or you're coming into the neighbourhood, pull up and light a fire. Let the old people know that you're here. And when I say the old people, I mean the ancestor trees, all the plants, animals, all the creation spirits, or everything that belongs to that place. You let them all know that you're here and that you're here for a reason, and that you mean well. And when you light the smoke, there's a couple of things, like the fire, the light, creates some light, a bit of smoke in the air, but also the leaves of that country. The smoke then cleanses and washes through you, so then you smell like the country, and you have that, that connection then with that place, and then maybe, someone's going to come along, or, you'll get the right feeling, whatever it is, whether it's a feeling or, young fellow, Jarjum comes up and says, oh yeah, uncle, you can go down this way, and this is where you can camp, and these are the things that you can eat right now, and these things that you can't eat them, they're our totem, or this is not the right time for that one. Things, like buninj, the kidna, you only eat at a certain time, namal, the goanna. They have different times that are appropriate when they're good time to eat. So that importance of being able to acknowledge that I'm coming into this country, I'm following the protocols, and then someone will hopefully show you the way and teach you what's important right there and now. And so when we think about today, while we're here to talk about cause and effect, so that cause around understanding, acknowledgement, respecting that custodianship, and because that's about caring for country then, and that's one of the most fundamental principles of culture that I've learnt, not just in Bundjalung culture, but in Gumbangi and Yuan and Wiradjuri, Kamilaroi, like all different cultural groups all over the place. Caring for country is number one, because if you don't care for country, then there's no food, there's no shelter. Because in our old people's way, you have to look after the land always. Look after the land. So, because if you don't, bad things happen. And like what we saw, about this time last year, all the bushfires, if you don't look after the country, and not just the physical landscape that's around us, like burning the leaf and the grass and looking after the country, making sure the canopy's healthy and safe, and all the burrabi, koala, and all those animals are all safe. It's also really important that we think about our neighbours and everybody else, in the world as well, And that's why it's so important to look after the climate, and make sure that we're not polluting the climate with all the pollution, which is increasing those weather behaviour patterns that have made those bushfires so bad last year. And so there's this intrinsic connection that's always flowing through when we understand acknowledgement and custodianship. And that's something that, like, I know the old people would always teach young people and would hope people would understand, and hopefully everyone here today understands the importance and the opportunity that they have to become custodians in this place, understand that acknowledging the land, acknowledging the old people, acknowledging each other's place, finding place for each other, supporting each other to grow, making sure that we're understanding that connection, because we've got to make the right decisions. Otherwise, we're going to go in, through this cause and effect. We're going to end up in places we don't want to end up, and we're seeing some of the impacts of that right now. When I was a kid, playing in the rivers, catching fish, and that's where I learned a lot of connection. And I look at, even back then they were really bad, but I look at them now and they're getting worse and worse. The rivers, used to be all clear and beautiful, and and the old people's stories of these crystal, beautiful, pristine waterways, and now they're all choked up with weeds, or the riverbanks are full of weeds, and we have all this pollution going into the catchments. So we need to think about that. What is our role as custodians? How do we make conscious decisions about what we're buying, what we're eating, where we live, how we build, all the things that are important to us? Because of that, it's that connection to country. When you feel that, you want to make the right decisions. And we see the benefits of that cause and effect. So I don't know how long I've got left, but I might just, I've got more, all right, yeah. No one else to say. All right, I better put that out. Maybe it's a sign. Yeah, I reckon that's enough for me. But yeah, I'll just wrap up and guess. Thanks for the opportunity to come along. Sorry, Uncle Marcus couldn't be here. Like I said, it's important that we think about caring for country and we understand our roles and responsibilities. And as a Bundjalung man, I'm hoping that people will understand that opportunity, and I'm always willing to share and connect with people. And it's been a long journey for me. Like, I was born on country, but I'm obviously not dark, and I had to learn about culture and I had to learn about these connections. And now they're really critical parts of my life, and they're not unique to Aboriginal culture. A lot of these things are about being human and being respectful of place. And so it's so important that we all draw on that lineage that we have, and we understand how that's appropriate in the places that we are, wherever we go in the world. And I just ask that people tread lightly on this earth and pay respects wherever they go. So thank you.